Doop. Cool. Hi guys, welcome on. Tiffany here of Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and happy Monday. And sorry we're late. Daylight saving time was yesterday, and I decided to go heavy cleaning this morning, and ended up being a little bit behind on getting everything ready for the stream. But I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Remember to like this video while it is live on YouTube to help with the algorithm. If you are new to the channel, welcome as well. I am a full-time costume and prop fabricator as well as educator here on YouTube, and would love to have you as part of our community, so remember to subscribe to the channel as well. A big hello to the Gaming Father, Wizard, Real, DR, Andy, and anybody else that is watching, lurking, or watching the video later. Hello. Alright, so today, or I guess, do we have any announcements? No announcements. Cool. Alright. Today I'm going to be continuing work on the Almudron blade, like I said. We're going to be using foam clay to fill all of the cracks and seams. This is the absolute final part to finishing this massive 8-foot long blade sword thing. It's the image that's over here on YouTube. This thing, pictures of it, I don't think people have realized the scale. It's a massive beast. So yeah, but I'll show you the parts of it, and I have one part already done of the 3 sections. There's a tractor going by. Okay, I have the windows open too, because it actually feels pretty decent outside. But I have the blade split up into 3 different sections for transportation. It is technically a commission for somebody, so hopefully they will like it. Hopefully. But I don't normally do commissions except for businesses for promotional use, so yeah. But one of the 3 sections is finished. I did it with foam clay last night, and then the other 2 I'd like to finish today. With foam clay, it does take 24 hours for it to fully dry. So you do that, 24 hours later, then you can plaster dip it, and once you're done with the 3 coats of that, which normally takes like a day or 2, it's another 24 hours to let that dry. So, but yeah, I'll show you the different parts. This one's the first one, this one's the top one that I finished yesterday. I did it on the seam here. And then it's just male and female CPVZ pipe connections, so that way you can disassemble it, and then to make it a tight fit, I just add some 2mm foam. It's, from my understanding, it's just going to be a display piece. So I'm going off of that. You'll still be able to take it apart quite a bit, but it is a really snug fit. I had to have one of my friends come over and help me, because I couldn't put it together without somebody else holding it, because it's 8 feet, and then to take it apart I also needed help, so yeah. But that piece, the middle section is then this piece, and if you've been watching in my Instagram stories, I've actually been sharing a lot of progress pictures, so if you don't watch my stories, go there. Yeah. But that's the middle section that connects to that part. I'm not connecting it here, but it goes like that. And then the bottom piece is this one. So yeah, this one was probably the most difficult out of all of them, just to get the correct curvature with these parts and whatnot. And then that one, I can only hold 2 pieces up at a time. But that one connects like that, and then the 3rd one is at the end of this one. So, just a few pieces. Yeah, but it's cool when it's all together. It's just a little much. I would consider this to be my largest weapon, I guess, that I've made, at least in length. So. But yeah. Yep, cosplay crafting time already. Welcome on, Snacks. I know, the sun is back. No more cold. Well, kind of still cold, but not too bad. I'm going through comments real quick. Mastered Mason. So I typically work on like 3 or 4 different projects at a time. So like if I'm airbrush painting, I'll paint a coat and then I'll leave it outside while it's drying, and then I'll come inside and work on something else, and vice versa. So yeah, currently we're doing Almudron Blade. We're finishing up the Vegeta cosplay. It's behind here. You can't see it because of the ring light. And then Clee's backpack. I still am making the keychain for it. So yeah, that. Hi Heidi, hi Tada, welcome on. Hi Angry, hi David. Dananas. I'm always bad with your name. It's like bananas, but Dananas? Maybe? But yeah. Okay, I'll show you also close-ups real quick so you can see kind of what we're dealing with today. So, but this is what it is. We've been working on this for a long time. It's actually been probably like 6 months that I've been working on this. Maybe 4, I don't know. I stopped working on it for like 3 months though. So I did it for like a month and then stopped. But the base is insulation foam that is wrapped in 2mm EVA foam with wood glue. And then all of the gray parts are 10 or 12mm. And then for textures, I've been using like my, use the wood burner for these sections. For all of the little cuts here, those were with a wire brush. For the hacks, those are with X-Acto knife. And then this is the part where I've been doing the seam here with the foam clay. Normally my seams are a lot better, but this one, because it had to curve so much, it just, like, it needed that extra little fix. So yeah. And I did actually use a little bit of the EVA foam glue to help with the connection on the inside too, because it really needed a really strong fit. So that. And then there's just the CPVC pipes that go, see the male and female, and they go throughout the blade for support structure. It's typically how I do all of my cosplay props that are large for disassembly. Yeah, so put that down. Caspian, welcome on. Hi TB, welcome on. Yep. Exactly that. Yay! It only took me how long? Like forever. I know, I always had trouble with that one. Angry. How are you today, Caspian? 16 Brazilian years! I know. Okay, so this one's our next piece. They're like a pain to work on, honestly. But, planning on, we'll probably go for where the red part is. It's also 2mm. I'll add some foam clay on there. There's a little bit of spots I need to add in here for connections, as well as the top seam up here. But yeah, a lot of pieces. This one, the seam on the back is not as bad. You can see here, there's that one. But typically for really large pieces like this, for consistency, foam clay, when it dries, and if you're going to paint it using plastic dip or just paint over it in general, it has a different shine consistency. So it will always be seen, just like quick seal, but not as bad. So I'll be using that, but I want to make sure I have like an even line throughout the whole thing, and it just makes it seem more purposeful and not like you're trying to fix just tiny little cracks, if that makes sense. So that is the plan. This will take a long time, so hopefully goal is to get this one done. Goal is to get both of them done today. Now to get them both done on stream. We'll see. Hopefully, cross your fingers. Yeah. But cheers guys, thanks for watching, and remember to like this video while it is live. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Again, if you are over on Instagram, go to YouTube, because that is actually where I'm streaming and talking to chat. So leave this platform, go to YouTube, it is free. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. Hi, honey bro. Welcome on. How are you today? All right. I'm gonna save this part for this part for last, and I think I'm gonna go around all these sections. Yell at me if I'm not in the overhead camera. I'll try to keep it as much as possible. I still need to adjust it outside of streaming in the actual camera settings, because it's normally zoomed out a lot more, but it's just like focus, focus, focus. Unless, let me see. It should be correct, but I might have forgot to do one. That one is the cat cam. Let's configure. Nope. Yeah, it's all correct on there. Okay. Still not sponsored. I don't think it's gonna be sponsored. You're doing okay. I hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you. I didn't sleep very well last night though, unfortunately. But I kind of made up by cleaning heavily, so maybe I'll be tired enough to sleep. But yeah. So I'm just using foam clay. This one's from TNT Cosplay Supply. I have links in the description of the video if you're interested. I also have a section in my Amazon store if you're interested in that as well. And foam clay is a kind of version of foam. And to work with this, you really need it to have like moisture and water in it. So you have to keep it in a bag, and it comes in the bag into the cup as well. And then every time I use it, I got some water and a paintbrush, and I just apply water inside of this just to make sure it keeps moist. If it dries out, it hardens. When it hardens, it's not super strong. It'll still break. Sanding wise, I can't recommend sanding it because it just comes apart in chunks. But yeah, you can use details and stuff, but I typically just do detailing and carving, and then I'll add this for just fixing cracks and seams. But, boo-doo-boo-doo. You can do your Monster Hunter cosplay as well, but you can't decide which armor. Ooh. Okay, first you have to decide which game, because the different games, you have typically most of the armors in all of them, but certain games have better armors. So yeah. Let's see. What's the red around the connection piece? It's just 2mm EVA foam. For CPVC pipes, the connection points have a little bit of a difference. So you can epoxy them together and it works well because it has enough room for the epoxy to harden and to like have its expanse around all of it. But you can see here for the next step up for CPVC pipe. But when it goes into there, you want it to be a tight fit. So it's a tension held rather than being screwed on by a threaded system. So this little piece of EVA foam is thick enough where it'll still go through the female spot, and because it's foam, it'll still soften and harden into place. So it'll fit perfectly in there. So yeah. Good question though. Feel free if y'all have more questions you can ask. Continue to send requests to Dr. Pepper. Okay. I'm gonna start on this side here. It's gonna be very hard to see. But process for adding it, you never want to apply foam clay onto a dry surface. It will not attach whatsoever. It'll stick there a little bit, but then it'll just fall off. But the water is kind of like your glue. So just apply it. And I do have a fixing cracks and seams tutorial that's available to members, and it'll be coming out to the public I think next week. But yeah, you don't need a lot. Just enough to fill the spot. And then there's a little bit here. And just more water. Just keeping it moist. Oh, I don't don't drink Monster and I don't drink G Fuel, but I know Dr. Pepper does do sponsorship stuff, and I'm a Texan girl, and I love me my Dr. Pepper, but because of COVID and everything, they stopped. So we're hoping maybe one day. But yeah, so you can see it now. So once you have water onto it, you just use your finger and kind of rub it back and forth to smooth it. You want it to be as thin as possible on the non-crack part. And of course, because it's not flat like the EVA foam, when it dries, it'll actually be a slight bump there. So using your finger to kind of smooth it out helps to ensure that it's as close as possible to the surface. And it's a fine line between like how much water you want. So you don't want it to be too like liquidy where it's just falling off, and you don't want it to be too dry. But it should start, you should start when it's the consistency when you're done with it to be really dark black, like lines will come up when you start rubbing it, and that's when you know that's like the best part. Otherwise it's like a charcoal black right now, but then it'll go like straight black. Part's done. So you can see where it is there, and then there. Oh, I have to actually look what I'm doing. There we go. And then next I want to do it in here and up here. You can see the crack there. Spots that are really hard to sand. So, just great. Welcome on. How are you today? Make armor out of Dr. Pepper cans. That's okay. That's okay. That'd be really sharp. In undergrad, I used to work for an artist, and she actually made her jewelry out of, what were they? They were like fizzy water drinks or something, and I hated cutting them out. Like, oof, sit there for hours just cutting each of the cans apart and stuff, and like, yeah, I'm not into doing more found object stuff more. The most I do is like with my props, I'll use like a bunch of like pool plumbing stuff and things for base structural support, but I'm good with my EVA foam, and yeah. Props to people that do them. Get new Fallout game modes to get Dr. Pepper to do Nuka-Cola. That, honestly, doing like the Nuka-Cola stuff would be fun. I posted on, was it today, I think? I don't even remember. On Instagram and all my platforms besides TikTok, but the next weapon video in the series, and my Nuka girl was in there, and I did that one so many years ago, and it still surprises me how many people didn't know that I like did a cosplay of that character and like made the rocket pack and the thirst zapper. Like everybody's like, tutorials, please! How do you do this? Do you have the full costume? Like, yeah, but I didn't really want to like go back and share all of that stuff from, what was it, like 2018, I think, or when I did it. But happy people are finding me again with it. Tiny bit more on that spot. Hi Terrible Pokemon, how are you doing today? Is it still cold for you? refreshing taste of nuke pepper. The taste of, what was it, like, oh, it's been so long since I played Fallout. I can't even, like, come up with, like, just commentary right now. The Wasteland, there we go. Oh, the rads included. Okay, that part's done. You're okay? Good. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. I saw you did the video of like where parents can do the reverse like a mistake effect meme that you did in the car and it ended up on you. I thought that was funny. Actually, I'm gonna do a tiny bit more up here. I have to keep an eye on the bag since I'm not like fully closing it each time. Some of them were babies. It was before the days of TikTok, right? It's weird to think that like most of my cosplays I've made before TikTok was around. Okay, that's done, and we'll go around this edge too. Doing all right? How's everyone else? Good, 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 good. I was really wanting to finish this yesterday though, but just didn't make it. I worked so much on this. Like this weekend, I only had one of these 3 pieces made. Otherwise, both of this one and the very large section with the handle part, I didn't have any of the gray sections on yet. But it was a very, very cold weekend, so I just stayed inside. And watched a lot of shows while I worked. I did. It's not Big Red. It's Turning Red on Disney. It's so good. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. One of the Pixar animated ones. Really, really good though. And then they released season 2 of Upload on, I think it's Amazon Prime. So I kind of binged all of that this weekend as well. That one's like an interesting concept where it's basically like way in the future and you can choose before you die to have like your conscious be put into an afterlife like computer thing, but you have to pay to be there. Excuse me. So it's a weird concept with all of that, but really good too. Just not kid friendly. Okay, I'm gonna do this part now, and here is gonna be hard to see. Kids loved it? Yeah. That's good you got to watch it. Upload was nice too. I feel like we're watching the same things now, Wizard. Going on a binge too, huh? Yeah, I did that. What was the other one? You had mentioned it in our Discord, and I had just finished watching it when I saw it. You put it on Discord, but I don't remember what it was called. It's on Netflix too, I think. The Matrix, yeah. Yup. Let's do. Are you? Hey, cool. Happy that stayed. Adam Project, thank you. I knew you would figure it out for me, because I'm just like a total blank. I couldn't even describe it. That one, I would consider family friendly-ish. Yeah. Kind of Star Wars-like, almost. Ugh, it's gonna get under my nails. That's a good one. Yeah. Thing is, this does get a little bit dirty. Gotta use one of my fingers that doesn't really have a fingernail too much, a long one. Yeah, what else? There was a... What's the next one? It's another dating show that's kind of like The Bachelor or Joe Millionaire, but it's set back where the female... It's like supposed to be back in when there's royalty, like Henry VIII time period, and everybody like is at a castle, and you have to date how they would date back then if like the men were courting her or something and wanting permission. It's pretty cool. Like a different concept. I'll be curious on like when they release more episodes how they continue with it. But the first episode was like a ball they all attended, and they had to dance with her, and they had to, before they met her, they had to send like a letter. It's kind of cool. That one's on... I think that one's on Hulu. It's on normal like cable or something, but I've been watching it on Hulu. You just bought it. Yes, don't forget to like the video. Helps with the algorithm. Okay, cool. And then we'll just slowly start moving down. It'll be a lot more obvious when we do it on the gray sections. Stay. I mean, I like my princess movies. Not the cartoon animated ones, but I like my, like, Princess Diaries and Cinderella movies and things. Yeah. But I always watch my dating shows, too. And I know everybody's like, oh, you watch The Bachelor, but I'm like, I like it even though it's cringy. Yeah. It's something to watch when you have just shows on 100% of the day. Reminds me when I first started streaming on Twitch, doing my crafting streams like 4 years ago, and nobody really watched back then. I had like maybe 3 people. It was like the same people that came on and we just chat. And I would have like Jersey Shore in the background while I worked, because I was just working like in the middle of the living room on like my coffee table. I didn't have a studio like this, and I just was painting on the coffee table, watching a show, and just had a camera over as I talked to people and stuff. And the setup of my stream has gone a bit more since then. I'm proud to say, but yeah. I don't know, is anybody like that's on the stream now? Was anybody back then? Back in the day. That was when I was either making Mume from Kabanara the Iron Fortress, or I was doing like my Valkyrie Mercy in Lone with Hanzo? Something like that. So I remember it was when I was still using Warbler. And it's been a long time since I've used Warbler for like the main construction part and not just as a structural support. Jazz and Fluffalies. It was before their time. Fluffles I've only had for, at least at this place, I've only had her for a little over a year. But she lived at my mom's house. And then Ches, I would have got him... Yes, the potato stream. Crimson was around during those days. Where when I would play games, I'd play... It was when I played Fallout 4. And just for fun, I put it on God mode, and I got the nuke. And I would just randomly like shoot monsters, and every time I'd shoot and something would explode, the stream just would freeze and it couldn't handle it, and I would just cracked up and everybody was just laughing. Those were fun days. But yeah, I ended up getting Ches, like, I think he's either 5 or 6 now. It's been a while. But I had Chella at the time. She was my previous cat. My little baby. But she passed away. Was it a year or 2 years now? Something like that. 2 years now. Yeah. So, she was my little child. Hi Bella, welcome on. How are you today? And if you're just getting here, welcome. We are working on and finishing up today the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter. It is an 8-foot long weapon. You can see it over here. And the part that we're working on is the middle section, which is from here to here-ish. And we're using foam clay right now to fill in some cracks and seams and make it a little nicer. That's better. Yeah. I will be happy once this project is done. Oh, I forgot, I did work on so our last stream, we started doing a template for the bunny head from Rust Eater Visco. And I ended up getting my pattern finalized, and then I already traced and cut out all of the pieces for the head. And I planned on assembling it today on stream, but I wanted to finish this since it was supposed to be finished yesterday. So I'm gonna save it for Wednesday for us to assemble. But I have a pile. Let's see, can you see it? It is past here. You can see a tiny bit of it. But I have all of the pieces there. So on Wednesday we can assemble the bunny head. So yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. There's a few pieces we'll have to sand, but I don't think it'll take too much time. Or like I don't think it'll be too difficult. It may take a bit of time though, actually. Just because it's a full-on wearable bunny head. So, yeah. But yeah, once this will be done, and then we'll do that. And then I need to finish the Vegeta armor. I haven't touched that in a week. I wanted to kind of get this like done. But then that, and then I'll start probably, I need to get another piece like done, like fully done, and then we'll move on to like our next cosplay, which is Arcane Jeeks from League of Legends, and we'll start off with those with 4 weapons. I plan on doing all 3 of the weapons on that one, so yeah, I'm excited for it. Okay, so now we're gonna do the sections in here, here, and here. Doing good, working on costumes yourself at the moment. How are you? Ooh, what are you working on today? I'm doing well. Got a lot of cleaning done this morning. A lot. Yesterday doing the sections that are down here. That was with the wood burner. And always when you burn EVA foam, like I have all of my windows open, I've got the fan on, the doors are closed to ventilate all of the air out, and I wear a respirator, but the whole room for like a day and a half will still have a weird smell to it because of it. And I went crazy because I couldn't sleep last night. I just felt like I don't sleep in this room, I sleep in a different room obviously, but I mean, let me pull out my bed real quick. But it was just like, throughout the house, it just felt like there was foam dust everywhere, and I went on a massive cleaning spree. And I vacuumed everything, wiped down all countertops, wiped down like the whole studio, all the windows, all the bathrooms, mopped everything, at least for the 2nd floor. So, a little crazy. But I feel a lot better now. It's the spring cleaning. But, yeah, it's just been so cold that it's just felt really dry in the air, I guess. Which I don't normally feel that here in Texas. Like normally you have, at least in my area, normally it's a bit more humid. But just lately here, it's just been awful. YouTube clip links just into Discord or tag to you on Twitter too. It's whatever you want. I'd say, so I did notice on Discord, I like that y'all are sharing them there, but the problem is it's the same thumbnail, which is not y'all's fault. It's just how it is. Those are, didn't smooth down too well there. But I'd say, because otherwise it's just the thumbnail of whatever I had for the thumbnail of the video. I'd say put a description, or like Tiff with fluff, or Tiff crazy lady making foam I don't know. Something to give a little more info so it's not just a wall of new clip from like 5 different people and you don't know what they are. But yeah, I really liked whoever did the one, they clipped it from last stream when Fluff came, and I was like, here, smell this, is this okay? And like, don't cut yourself, with her little snifflers. I like that somebody clipped that, it was cute. Yeah, Twitch, for their clipping system, it's literally like a thumbnail of this, not the thumbnail I made that everybody has. So you can kind of see a little bit more. I'm sure YouTube will eventually fix it. Maybe. I don't know. Still working on less ball gown. Okay, gotcha. Cool. You thought I lived in a van. Yes, I do, Terrible. It's a very, very spacious van. Wow. Don't you hear all the cars going by? Of course, they're not going by as I talk, but, you know. Get curled up with the leftover foam and fabric. Oh yeah, no, that's why I keep ordering EVA foam, because it's my bed that I lay on, and I have to keep ordering more foam so I can lay it out on the table and just go to sleep. Got a lot done? Yeah, I definitely did. Titles are for, I think on the Discord one it didn't do titles, or at least I was oblivious if it did. I just saw thumbnails. Addison whistles. Yeah. One in clips that just cute. Yeah. Tiffbot just power down. Yup. Beep boop, overworked. Ah, okay. Beep boop. Yeah, that's what it is. That's y'all know me too well. That's how every stream is afterwards. I have no energy left, so I shut down. I only work on stuff when I stream, don't you know? Because if I don't have proof, then I didn't actually do something. Just like if I don't have a stream that I'm playing a game, I must not play games. That's, yeah. What is this sorcery? There's a little hole in this one I gotta fix. We need to have a counter for every time I reach to get the paintbrush and I miss. So I'm not like actually looking. But yeah, feel free if you have any questions on what I'm currently working on, you can ask. Use this. I have to be careful. We'll have to check this corner because it actually is like a hole spot there. And typically for foam clay, you don't want to like fill the hole, but if it gets really watery, you'll have like a water bubble in there. And when the blade is flipped the opposite way, all that water will then pull up in that corner and potentially will then push the foam away because it's not then bonding to the foam. Just for consistency, we're just gonna go all the way down. Brave New streamer didn't happen. Yeah. like Genshin. I finished everything in it like a while back, and so all I've been doing is dailies each day and like hardcore farming critters. Just like leveling up all my talents, and I was curious, like, when is the next like actual map coming? How much longer? We've got more than a like half a year. Just like, oh. So I'm kind of considering what else to play. Yeah. Valheim had an update though, where apparently in the ice realm or the snow realm or whatever, they added caves. One of my friends told me about it, so I might go back into that and check it out. Oh, also, if you're still here on Instagram, make sure to go to youtube.com/TiffanyGordonCosplay, because that's actually where I'm streaming. And you'll get a much better overhead view of what I'm working on. And I'm talking to everybody on YouTube, so if you have questions, go there. It is free. And for those on YouTube, make sure to like this live video. Please and thank you. Worried about the jacket getting foam clay? No, it's... The only part that would get on it is the water. And I'm not having it, like, it's barely on my fingers, so it's not going down my arms. I mean, if I do that, it's not doing anything because it's mostly dry. But thanks for the concern on that. We might change it on... take off the jacket in another spot, but and the bag's clean on the outside. There we go. Foam clay your preferred way of dealing with seams, or is there some other method? I prefer foam clay. So other methods, I did a video already, which was quick seal. That's what I used to do. Quick seal is a lot more beginner friendly, but the problem is most people way overuse quick seal and it dries extremely shiny. It's basically, in the bathroom, it's like the white edge that goes around all of the corners of like the sink to the granite or the countertop, things like that. So it's always the rubbery shine, which is very different from your matte EVA foam. So if you're just gonna paint on it, if you're gonna do plasti dip and then paint, you will always see it. So it's really good, like if you're doing welds where you want to emulate a metal piece where two metal pieces are joined together with a weld spot in the center, it's good because it simulates kind of what that would look like. But otherwise, if I was to add the quick seal here, it's gonna be a very shiny spot here, and there's no way to make it less shiny. You can use like matte sealers, but it's gonna always be different from your foam. So it'll still be somewhat shiny here, where this one will be really matte. So it's a more beginner-friendly one, easier to learn on, which I would say start with that. But once you have a basic concept of that, I would switch to foam clay. Foam clay is a little bit harder to control because you don't have a tube and you're not, or like a tube or a wood little spreader thingy, I can't think of the word, like a toothpick thingy. Where control is a lot easier with quick seal, but with foam clay, as you see, I'm basically pulling it out and coiling it into small pieces and applying it. Your line is gonna be not as even consistent. Also, you really have to work with the water, not having it too wet, not having it too dry, making sure your surface is clean and you're applying it with the water beforehand. Where quick seal for cleanup, you do little sections like that much, and then for cleanup you just get a wet paper towel and kind of rub it away. For here you have to kind of spread it out with your finger, but then it doesn't come off. It's still there, it just evens it over the field. You can still notice it, but not as bad. It's not as much of a shine, but you will have a tiny bit of a shine. Did that answer? Okay. Let's see. I want to do a little bit on this part. We still need to go in there though. I missed that section. We'll do it in a bit. Okay, here now. Stay. Okay. Don't seem like a slab of wood and painting miniatures, but you did have some mishaps. Oh, painting miniatures, that's an art there. Especially doing it with an airbrush gun. I can't do that. But I also don't have, my airbrush gun is for like medium to high spread. So like the thinnest it gets is like that. And I want to get a smaller one, but it's like, for the one that I want, I think it's like 500 or 700. I'm just like, oh, I gotta wait and invest at another time. Right now I just have my clips for my Wada, so. And I do have, I know y'all saw a long time ago, I got, Vivo Homes sent me a airbrush booth and a startup compressor and airbrush gun, and I do have review videos for that. Hopefully coming this week for the airbrush booth. The compressor airbrush gun, there were some issues that I messaged them about, so we'll see when that one is released. I don't really want to go into it now, but just so y'all are aware. But I'd like to do in the future like introduction airbrush video stuff. So, okay. So our corner's down there, and then I've got my clay sculpting tool. This one's my favorite because it's a point, and then I just have a piece of Worbla that I heated up and pushed on because I hate working with this side and having a point at my eye. But for this, so all of the texture parts that I have in here with foam clay, it'll fill in all of those sections. So you want to use like a tool to go back and put those textures back in so it looks like you didn't fill anything. There we go. I'll say you're okay. I do want to get that spot back there. You can see the connection spot there. I'm trying to angle it so y'all can see better. Tried Quixel a while ago. It didn't work for you. Yeah. It took a bit of practice for me to get comfortable with it, but once I discovered this, I liked it a lot more. Who was painting minis with airbrush? Oh, I see. So, my sponsor for airbrush paints is Cretex Colors, and they, okay. Is there no school today? Is today a holiday? That was a car, by the way. That was a car. There's two trucks pulling. One is broken, and they went into the skate park thing. Yeah, sorry if that was a little loud. But the sponsor, Createx Colors, I follow their Instagram page, and they share anybody that uses their paints. And there's so many people I see on there with their miniatures and like painting little things like a full face, just like that with little airbrush guns. Like, it's so crazy. Having that much precise like control, like I can't do that. I can't do that with like just a paintbrush. I'm too shaky. Oh no, they're using airbrush guns. They're not using just airbrush paint. Like, there are specific precision airbrush guns that basically the line of the X-Acto blade here, that's the amount of paint that comes out of it. And it's just crazy. Those are the really expensive ones, so. Hope the car doesn't do another circle around. It's not the craziest thing that's happened on stream. We had last year when I was doing one of my sub days, there was a wreck that happened right while I was streaming, and that was another craziness. Ugh. Okay. That part's done. Let's go down some more. We're gonna do this spot now. The best I can do so y'all can see it. So you only seen people do it with tiny brushes, but with an airbrush seems wild. Yeah, definitely. Look, Createx Colors Instagram page. Like I follow it just to see like all the madness of what people do. This is cool. Oh, thanks. Welcome on, Bayrix. Yeah, we are finishing up our Almudron blade from Monster Hunter. It is the image over here, and we are currently doing the middle section. This is broke up into 3, which is from here to here, the middle section. And it all comes apart and assembles, so easy for transportation, and we are filling any cracks and seams with foam clay right now. And it's all made out of insulation foam, EVA foam, foam clay, and CPVC pipes as the bone structure. Yeah, if you've done airbrush painting, the best company for airbrush guns, in my opinion, I've used a bunch of them, is Iwata, and their stuff is amazing. Like, the precision, like, just maintaining it with, like, how clean and precise the paint goes through really nicely. They're the company I recommend, but their pricing is expensive because the quality is amazing. So, if you're getting into airbrush painting, buy a cheap starter kit that comes with a compressor. I normally recommend the ones that come with some airbrush paint with it, as well as 3 different airbrush guns. Typically, there'll be 3 different types, where one is like a bottom, so you have your gun here, and then it has like a bottom feeder where it has a tube into your paint container. There's like one that has the traditional upright cap, and then one that has a a backwards kind of paint container. And I always recommend that one because people prefer different types of airbrush guns. And so, like, one that I like, you may not like. So I always recommend that one. The cheapest of the cheapest, it's not gonna last you, but you're gonna learn on it. You're gonna learn what not to do. You'll learn how to clean your gun too, because if you're like me, when you first start, you don't clean your airbrush gun and you kind of ruin them a bit, and you have to really learn how to properly maintenance it before you spend lots and lots of money on one. So I always recommend that. But yeah. One of them, what was it? The ones I liked the best as starter ones were the masters. Like the master airbrush kits. And normally the paint that comes with them too are just like generic paint. Not that good. But it's, again, like, it's gonna teach you the basics, so. I feel like you need this airbrush in your life. I'm selling it, right? No, I'm just speaking out loud. It's a big decision to go from hand painting everything to airbrush painting, in my opinion. I think you can do really nice hand painting stuff, but it's gonna look hand painted for the most part. Thank you for the sub. And if you're trying to level up your cosplay game and you're able to invest in it, I would highly recommend airbrush guns. But you don't have to do like one or the other. I still do a mix of, like, I'll airbrush paint everything, but then with airbrush paint, I'll hand paint the details. And so you still have that slight hand touch, where airbrush paint is gonna give you a even consistency. But when you're doing like organic pieces like this, you wanna have that hand touch. So I'll go back in and I'll do like messy paint on top, but it gets you there a lot faster and a lot less coats, and gives you the ability for EVA foam specifically to make it where you can bend your pieces, and you don't have as much crackage into the paint. If you've made EVA foam armor before and you've hand painted it, especially if it's like bendable parts, you'll just notice that it cracks easier with the paint. Where airbrush paint, you can bend it pretty well and you won't have like cracks and seams. You'll have it in the EVA foam, not in the paint. Okay, that one's done. Let's see, this one. I can't really show this section. We're doing the very tip part here. You have a master's airbrush kit, compressor, and airbrush gun. They're a good starter kit. Yeah. Yep. The compressor does die over time though. I've gone through a few of them, and then I finally was like, I'm just gonna invest in an actual one. Especially with your temperature. For your airbrush gun, if it is cold outside, you gotta take it inside. Same with the heat. If it gets way too hot, all of your, like for 2 years using the same compressor and the hose systems, the hose will actually dry out for the basic kits. So you gotta be careful with them and take them inside. Same with all of they have like rubber washers in between all of the parts for your airbrush gun and for the compressor. And so just being aware that a lot of times you'll have to replace those. With my Iwata airbrush gun, the Eclipse, I actually only have that one inside. And it lives in a box, all separated. And then I put it together if I'm gonna airbrush paint, and then I'll take it outside and paint. And then once I'm done painting, I take it inside, I clean it up, and then it goes back in its box. Things you learn after years of painting. Okay, that section's done. Let's see. There's a piece here, a little hole I gotta get. Pretty much the side's done. There's a few little spots around the red and the black sections that meet. So I'm just gonna go back through and look at those, and then we'll fix those up, and then we'll do the other side. And then the last section will be the spine. You've been banned from buying any more paint or more brushes. You have a problem apparently. Yeah. It's the oh shiny syndrome, as they call it. Cliff, Pokemon, how are you today? Couldn't find a car crash clip. Haven't, you did find a car, okay. It wasn't on, for that one, the car crash didn't, like, it happened, but I didn't show it. Because it was out the window. So you just hear it, and, like, my reaction. Yeah, that one was crazy, so. Yep, I play Monster Hunter. I've done World and Rise. Everything that I make for costumes or any of my props, I have either watched the show or played the games for. Unprimed grade instead of indeed a thing that should stop one from buying more. Oh, what? Compressor died after a year. The company replaced it for you. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'd say for the starter kits, most of the time the compressors only last like a year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Depends on how you manage to take care of it, so. Yeah, this is the Almudron braid from Monster Hunter Rise. It is technically a commission. Normally I do not do commissions for people, but this one's for one of my friends. And normally for commissions, I only do it for actual business companies for promotional use, such as like game companies or for conventions. All right. That one. I'm gonna see if I can get in here. There's a little bit of a seam. Stay. Eee! No, don't go in the carpet. And if you are still here on Instagram, I'm actually streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyGordonCosplay. You can see the link there. And that is where I am talking to everybody in chat. So if you'd like to watch, leave Instagram and go there. You get a overhead view from this lovely camera, as well as one over here. And it's much better than this angle. And it's free to watch, so go to YouTube. Yeah. All right. How are we doing? We need to add a little bit more water. Thanks, Ingrid. Okay. Yeah, we ended up. I didn't stream any of Rise. Because I wasn't doing game streams then, but for Worlds we ended up streaming all of it on Twitch. I'm not sure if I have videos on the gaming YouTube or not from World. This one, I'm not really going to be able to reach in too well. So we'll see if I can smooth it out a little bit with this. Yeah, when I did originally made these sections, the base frame I made as kind of rectangles, so it's flat on all 4 sections. And then I carved out the sections on the sides so they were round. And I didn't close them again. So I applied these and I was like, okay, well now I want to fill that spot. So I had to go back after with the 2mm and I couldn't reach them with my sanding drum. So they're okay, but they're obviously not fully cleaned up there. This is like, in terms of cleanup, the biggest job of cleanup for a foam clay. Like, normally I'll only do like 1 or 2 sections, not the whole thing. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel or either. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm in top chat. I need to change to live chat. I don't know if that makes a difference, but live chat. There we go. Not sure, but there we go. Yee. When you run out of material and then you have to do a seam in an awkward spot. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have been enjoying today's stream. If you're new to our stream, I typically stream every Monday and Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it is just working on whatever cosplay or prop I am doing at the time. Right now we're working on the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter Rise. The current cosplay build I'm making is Vegeta from Dragon Ball. And then I'm also in the background working on finished Klee's backpack, but I'm going to be doing also the keychain for it. So that'll come next. And then we're making the bunny head from the anime Rust Eater Bisco. And I do make tutorials on everything also, so if there is a certain cosplay or prop that you like that you've seen that I've made, I most likely have a tutorial for it on YouTube, or possibly even a lot of live streams of it if it was made in the last like year or two. You can find those through the playlist of the character. I think I have it by character, something like that. I'm so happy it's nice outside. Oh. Like, it's just a window all day. It was only like 55 this morning too, and I think it's supposed to get into the 70s? So still light jacket weather, but not miserable where you can't go outside anymore. And soon swimming weather. Back to the river. do anything over the weekend besides all of the shows we talked about earlier? It was too cold for me. Only thing I did was I had to run some errands and I had to go to like the pet store in HEB. But that was about it for me. Besides lots and lots of cosplay stuff. Lots and lots. E. I'm being nitpicky now and I kind of want to do a tiny bit on the edges. There's just like a little spots. These I don't know if y'all will be able to see like at all. All the shows, 9 time or anything else, but you still want to go to the Ren Fair. Oh, me too. I want to go so bad this year. I haven't been able to go like the last few years. Which one's coming first? Is it the Sherwood or is it the one in Houston? Like, I was just talking to my friend over the weekend about that too. Where she's way up north, not in Texas. And she's trying to make a cosplay and she's like, I want to take it to Ren Fair. I'm like, oh, you should do it. And then bring this person. They're like, they don't like Ren Fair. I'm like, wish we lived closer. It always happens that like every weekend that I'm free, I then have like a convention or something, and I just haven't been able to go. It's been very sad. Yeah, no way I'm gonna be seeing this one. It's just in a really difficult spot. It's the details that nobody will notice unless you're like holding it, and then you might not even notice it still. Sherwood is going on right now. How long are they going for? I think, oh, I missed a spot on this one. We've got a little bit in here I need to do. There we go. Making sure how much, I can't tell how much battery I have left on my phone. Like half the time I just leave it on until my phone dies. I think they go until the end of April. Okay. I want to go. That's in... I'm trying to think how far away that is from me. It's like a 2-hour drive to Austin. So how far away is it from Austin? Because I know it's like that direction. And I know you would know, Wizard, because you're there. How are we doing on time? hour and a half for one side. Meh. The downfall for foam clay is if you're doing it on armor, unlike Quicksteel is a lot more bendable. Where with foam clay, if you have it on a bendable spot, if you really bend it, it'll end up cracking. So, there's that. Okay, now I'll fold the other side. And I'm gonna take my jacket off too. That and water. Cheers guys, thanks for watching, and remember to like this video, blah blah blah, while it is live. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and if you're watching the VOD after, also like it, cause why not? Okay. Let's see, I didn't do like any of that bottom section. So we'll start with there. So all of this section in here I need to do. Let's see. Haha! Maybe? I can't really, like, it's a weird angle. Let me switch it to this one. While we do this one section, it'll just make it easier. You'll use Austin Convention Center since we're there recently, hour from there. Okay, so it's just like a 3-hour drive then. Going to run first sounds like so much fun. Yeah. I really want to go. I'm curious with everything, like, if the size has gotten smaller. Obviously, world stuff kind of affected a lot of things, so. One thing I've never done at a run fair though is dress up. I've always just like worn normal clothes, but I always think it'd be like a cool thing. But it's one of those where like I dress up for a living, kind of like wearing my cosplays, and then do I want to go and have fun but also wear something and like I don't know. I just want to go and people watch. Yeah. You have to remember, it's not overhead B right now. The plan with this would be finish all the foam clay tonight. And then, I caught it. And then wait for it to dry 24 hours. And then probably this weekend I would plasti dip it. And then maybe start painting it next week. But it's gonna be a long time painting this just because it has so much surface and like taping off the sections. So like the image over here, technically is not the correct color. I'm going to be doing the blade when it's actually in use with the yellow kind of gradients down the whole. So if you see in the center, there's like a black line in the center, and then there's a circle there, and it goes all the way down to the bottom down here. Technically it's like a bright, like flame yellow in the center, so it's gonna be a bit more colorful, and it's a lot more brighter, vibrant and brighter. Right, like, yeah. Tongue twisters. There you go. But a lot brighter of a color than what is there. And then of course all the grime that has to be added, because it's gotta look nasty. You went to Texas Ren Fest this year and it was just as large and stuff, so you think Sherwood will be just normal? Oh, okay, cool. Glad to hear that then. I haven't been to Sherwood since college. That would have been my last year, which was 2014, I think? That was the last time I went to Sherwood. The Texas Ren Fest, I've been like 2 times since then. Actually, since we're not using this right now, when it starts to fall again. Yeah. You dress up, but it's not your job to do that. You can wear something Ren casual. Oh yeah. The only thing that I have worn is like, I've done some of my corsets there. I've bought a corset there too. One of the fine leather ones, like at Texas Ren Fest in Houston. All the corset shops are typically like the same, just copy paste, same stuff in everyone. But they're in the very, very back, his handmade leather ones, in a whole different area, in the farthest part from the entrance. And that one, like, I had to get like their smallest size, and it's so pretty, and just all of the nice like leather, and it has, so it's a corset lace in the back, but then it has easy release in the front, where it's got all of the like hooks, the moving hooks things. So I've worn that for Halloween a few times. We know I have an obsession with corsets, so. You went as Gal last time. It was really fun. That's cool. Always the joke though, right? Dress up event happens, then it's just a day off for cosplay. Yeah, pretty much. Like Halloween, I don't go all out. I'm just like, I'll put on something like casual that is kind of dress up, but not really. That or you have the meme of everybody's like, I have nothing to wear. We're almost done with this section, and then I can put the camera back on the overhead angle. Just with this area, couldn't really show it too well. That's not going. I got a leather top from Ravenwood a couple years ago, and a fancy hat bracers. I got some leather boots from another booth that year. Is it expensive? Yeah, imagine so. That's the problem for me, is when I go out to like those type of places, I'm just like, I look at it and I'm like, I could make this. and I don't buy it because I'm like, I don't want to spend money on something that I could make this for a lot cheaper, but then I'd also like, I have to really, really like something to buy something. Stay. You shall not pass! Yes. Nothing to wear because it's all work clothes, nothing to go out and dress. I know! Oh, I realized I've had a lot of people comment already on the jacket I was wearing today. And it's like, I've had this since like, for like 6 years now. I wear it all the time. Then I realized I typically wear like junk clothes when I stream, that I'm okay with getting dirty. So I never really dressed up on stream for when I'm like crafting. And it was just like, oh, that's why I've never seen that. I have so many different styles too of like, I have like what people think that I wear when I make stuff. When I make stuff while I stream. And then there's like another option of what I look like when I make stuff and I'm not streaming. I look like a total homeless bum, and I don't, like, I brushed my hair for y'all today. I don't typically do that unless I'm streaming. And I don't wear makeup when I am not streaming for crafting things, just because like a respirator, I'd rather not have makeup on, but I'm not gonna stream without makeup, so there's that. But then there's like game streams, which I haven't done in a long time, and doing like my little videos, I'll look a certain way. That I like wearing, like all of my tummy showing shirts. Those are like my favorite. Are they acceptable wearing in my town? Not really. I'm in a very small town that's very religious and very looking at you all the time. So it's kind of like, I don't know what to wear half the time. That and like what's age appropriate for me, I'm almost 30. And like, yeah, so there's that whole thing too. It's a mess. Okay, now I can change it back to the overhead cam and y'all can see once again. All right, boop. Here we go. Coolie cool. Was that a nice jacket? Thanks. Cannot make this, so out comes the wallet. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll start with the seam in here, like we did on the other one. I do have to be careful that, so now that we have foam clay on the opposite side, the foam clay, even though it's drying, it can still take impressions in it, so if the tape happens to hit where we put the foam clay, it'll end up having a permanent mark there. So I do have to be aware where I'm placing it now, so we don't have that issue. Kinda. Alright, so we can do this part. Yeah. How long did it take you to learn all the skills to make a full outfit? I mean, I've been making cosplays since 2008, and just like outfits in general. I'm all self-taught, so if I want to learn a technique, I just get out, like I get materials and then I just try it. If I don't know something, sometimes I'll look on YouTube, but just practice and practice. If you're interested in learning to make stuff yourself, I have obviously my live streams like now, but I have tons and tons of tutorials for over a bunch of different things. Basically every prop I've made, I have a tutorial for. Certain sections of outfits I have tutorials for. I'm doing basic technique ones too, so just look on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in certain cosplays that I've made, I do have them by playlist. So if you're interested in like a specific Mercy skin that I've made, you can look that up, or like this one's the Almudron blade, so it has its own playlist on YouTube for all of the live crafting streams that I've done. And once it's complete, I'll also have a tutorial on it. It'll end up being 2, I think. But one for making it and one for painting it. But this one was a massive build, obviously, since it's 8 feet long. Okay. Where of the backstage what? So generous with her hairbrushing. I mean, it's about 75% of the time I actually brush my hair for stream. The other point, not really. I'm just a bum. It's effort. I can do stuff without it, kind of thing. Yep, I'll be 30 in July. But I'm always told I look 18. Ooh. Hence why, so if you don't know, if you're new, I used to be blonde. Blonde's my natural hair color. I look older with darker hair. That's why it's dark. And then I look really, really young without makeup on too. Like, people come to the door and ask me, are your parents home? Yeah, that's not a joke. Going to the hardware store to buy Plasti Dip. You have to be 18 to buy Plasti Dip. And they always make me get out my ID to make sure I'm of age. And we had, what was it? I told y'all last time, or last week, I went to a restaurant and I ordered a drink and the guy checked my ID and he was like asking me if I was an undercover cop or whatever because I don't look 21 and like, it's just like, no. I get carded all the time. I don't want to hear that now. So yeah, it's a hassle. It's a hassle. Alright. So the guy that's almost 40. Hey, that's all good too though. Age is just a number, except for if you're a female trying to be taken serious in an industry that people think you're a kid in and think that you don't make your stuff. Makes it a little more difficult. Yeah. If you're just getting here, we're also, so this is the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter Rise, and we're currently doing the last pieces of filling cracks and seams with foam clay right now. And this is one of 3 pieces for this 8-foot long blade, this being the middle section. Welcome on, Bradley. How are you today? And age apparently by default for your costumes. Okay. That's the thing. Run fair, you can do pirate stuff too. Yeah. Arg. Use Plasti Dip before bed. Yeah. Thanks, we'll definitely look at your tutorials. You have so much art in the brain, but can't actually do anything creative. Oh, you definitely can. Just, I know a lot of times it's hard to figure out like where to start and what to make. And I think you can follow, like I do patterns and blueprints, and if you're interested in following like some of my tutorials, one of the easiest ones to do are probably like my Riku daggers from Final Fantasy, which I have like a blueprint and I go step by step on how I made it, or following like some of my hat patterns and things if you're interested in EVA foam. But yeah, I think that's like having a small project that excites you and then just learning a technique for that. That's kind of how I did a lot of my starting cosplays. Is I wanted each cosplay that I choose to make or prop, a lot of times I'll set a goal of what do I want to like learn for this build, and I'll like set out and be like, okay, this one I want to learn to work with this material, and I do it. Like I'll go through all the learning pains of it, and then when I'm done with it, I know I'm proud that I've, like, for leatherworking, I taught myself leatherworking. So I had an idea of kind of what it was. I got some leather. Leather is expensive, so heads up on that. But, like, just sitting down and kind of forcing myself to learn and to see what about this material I like. And I love leather. It's one of my favorite things, especially airbrush painting. So yeah. Ah, I hope that helps. Let's see. Okay, this one, still so many crumbs. When I used the wire brush, it like ripped up a lot, which is what I wanted, but there's so much little crumbs everywhere. I want to do in here now, this seam, and then we'll go through and see if there's any other sections. But we're getting close for this one being done now. That works. Okay, here we go. I think I'm gonna change the exposure on this one. We'll make it one more bright. Let's see, that's the cat cam. Configure, exposure. How's that? That easier to see? Okay. And for those Instagram people that are still on here, thank you for watching. Please go to youtube.com/TiffanyGordonCosplay, because that is actually where I am streaming. You get a much better view there. I'm gonna go ahead and close the Instagram live feed, whatever, but we're still live on YouTube. So go there. And thanks for watching. Okay, bye-bye. Boop. Okay. The homing beacon saying I'm here. Only as old as you act, yeah. Let me go enter the kids cosplay contest. Yee. No. Wizard. Wonderful. How are you, Tiffany? I'm doing well today. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Got a lot of work done this weekend on cosplay, and then this morning I got heavy crazy in cleaning, and so I started the stream a little bit later, but still happy with it. So yeah, pretty good day. Yeah. Okay. If you haven't noticed, I've been adding more moisture to our foam clay. Always want to keep it moist, or it won't. It'll harden. So, trying to get started with Warhammer figurines, building and painting them. Ooh. I understand the painting. I don't know how you build, like, besides 3D modeling, I don't know how you build figurines. That's pretty cool. If you want to share anything, we do have an open Discord that anybody can join, and we have different sections like cosplay and art and gaming stuff, and you're always welcome to share anything that you've made or what you're working on there as well. !Discord. But yeah, that's always a good starting spot. Doing small figurine stuff and learning how to paint, and then just applying those skills to whatever you're making large scale. And I mean, you can also make a large scale Warhammer character. You can make a weapon from it, and then like make certain sections and slowly go from there. Thanks, Cliff. Can't wait to start your Monster Hunter costume. Your daughter has agreed to be one of the cat things. Ooh, you're a little pelican. Yeah. Did you decide which set to do yet? How much do weapons of this size weigh in the end? It depends on the weapon, and it depends on the materials that you make it out of. For me, I try to make them as lightweight as possible, and of course, I travel all the time for conventions and things, so I have to make my props disassemble. This 8-foot long blade right here, I have it where it disassembles into 3 sections. For the lightest materials for very large weapons, a lot of times I'll use insulation foam, which you can buy at like hardware stores, and it's really easy to work with, and it's pretty cheap. And then I'll cover it with EVA foam, which is what all this black and gray and red stuff is. So that makes it a lot more lightweight rather than like conventions. Like a lot of times you can't use metal. Obviously that's gonna weigh a lot. It's also gonna cost a lot. Some conventions have issues with 3D printing, so some don't, but you can also 3D model and print something. Those tend to be a lot more heavier depending on the infill that you do in your prints. So your honeycomb, basically, how much support is on the inside, how solid is it, how wide is your piece. You can make a piece out of cardboard. That's gonna be really lightweight. Probably not the best for long-term use, but you can still make it out of that. EVA foam, you can do just straight EVA foam as well. EVA foam does get heavier though, especially for longer pieces. For this one, for all of my large weapons, I always have an inner bone structure, and that helps for materials that are more floppy, such as EVA foam, or like if you're doing like cardboard or something, they tend to, the longer they get, the more likely they are to sag. So you always want to have like a bone structure on the inside. So this one I have CPVC pipe, which is this thing. It's kind of like PVC but different. And I just have a male and female inserts on either side so they can interlock, and it's held together with friction. You can also get threaded rods to do it as well. So it really just depends. This one's not too bad, especially for the size. It's just more of, because it's so long, it wants to go down one side, because obviously there's, like, I'm holding 2 feet of the blade, and then the rest of the 6 feet are like on the other side. Thank you for the sub, I appreciate it. But yeah, like, nothing is really that heavy for how I make them now. But insulation foam and EVA foam I would recommend for more lighter builds. And mastering. Ooh, nice. Cool. 40K or fantasy specific army caught your attention? Yeah. That's one that I get tons of requests for. People want me to make Warhammer stuff all the time. But I never played it. And like, I have a hard time in making stuff from things that I haven't played. There's a tiny little spot here I want to do. Stay. There we go. I think we got it there. Okay, so there's a spot right there. You can see the crack, and then I want to do that spot there. Next on your list, we want to do Couple one. Aw. Yeah, I've done a few cosplays where I made one for somebody else, like one of my friends to wear, but it's always really difficult if they don't, like, obviously your friends most likely don't live with you, so it makes it really hard to make them outfits when you need to arrange schedules and like have them come over and like do fittings and things. And a lot of times they're not too reliable. Personal experiences. So I haven't really done too many where I've made for like other people. The ones that I have done, I normally like make my sister, one of my sisters wear it. But both of them now are in college, so they don't really have as much like, their moms can't drive them to my place anymore. So I can't like purposely dress them up anymore. I'd love to do, so my Tyrael costume I made from Diablo 3, I'd love to do a cosplay transformation video for that one as well, just like I did for Ariel this last week, after how many years? 4 years? But I made it originally for my sister, and she was larger than me in height and everything, and so I don't think it would fit me really, but I kind of like, I only have me to put it on, so I'm kind of like, I might see if it works, maybe? Not sure. Okay, add those textures back in. That one's done. Let's see. There's a little spot in here. You can see a tiny bit of it. Warhammer is just insane. It's like a whole universe, so getting into it is really hard. Okay. Well, that's cool, for the like-minded interest then. So you're doing the miniatures? Are you making them for him then? Mammoth topic with very passionate. Oh yeah. Yeah, I prefer to do costumes and props from things that I like. Unless it's like a sponsored thing, then I'll do it. But for me, it's hard to make something you're not passionate about. And I don't like everything I make, I know like about it. It's not just like I'm making something to make something. And that's fine. But for me personally, like I like to know, I'd like to be a little bit educated on like what am I wearing and like knowing if I'm wearing it upside down. I see that a lot from people that don't watch the shows or something. Just like, this is supposed to be the other way, but good job. Like, but yeah. I have made a few on request, and I just ended up hating them in the end. Like, no passion for it whatsoever. Even if I watch the show, sometimes, like, if I didn't like the show and I'm trying to make a character from it, I'm just like, no, and the costume, like, it knows I didn't like it, and it just turns out like poop, like, bleh. Okay, ooh, we need to do this section and this section now. Let's do, that kind of works. Yee! Thank you for the sub. Making enemies for yourself so you can fight him in the tabletop games. That's cool! That's cool! Yeah, I've never done miniatures. The only thing I've done for, like, tabletop card game stuff is I've painted some of the play mats for Magic, I think, for some of my friends. But I've never really gotten into, like, card games. I've had card collections for like Yu-Gi-Oh! And for Pokemon. Like huge collections. I like my collectibles. But I've never gotten into playing anything like that. Like, I've played Magic too. I understand Magic. Don't really care about it. I will say there are some like, sometimes I'll find a character that I like that will get me into a game though, or into a show. So, I saw somebody had said there was like a new update for Sacred Shield Charlotte. We know I've cosplayed her. But I had never seen her at the time. When I first saw it, I saw the character and I was like, this is so gorgeous! And I actually started playing the mobile game because of seeing that character. And then I ended up cosplaying it because of that. So there is sometimes like that where I'll see something and it makes me want to do it, or like to watch a show. And sometimes I'll ask like my community, what are characters that you want me to make? And I am actually asking for suggestions because I've watched so much like anime and so many shows and things, but sometimes I just don't know if I've missed something. And I get a lot of people, like, I get a lot of like, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, I'm not gonna be your booby princess, like, that's just not gonna happen. But there's sometimes some characters that I never knew who they were, and I'm interested in learning, like, what is this anime? And sometimes I'll see, like, there's this character, but I don't know who this character is, and that leads me down a rabbit hole of, like, understanding. So I do appreciate those when I ask for, like, feedback. I do get a lot of people that are like, whatever you want to make, and that's great too, but I want to know, like, what are you into right now? So yeah. Love card games, but this tabletop is not like so much card related. It's very narcissistic. That's okay. Yeah, I've got a bunch of friends that do like D&D too, and never was into it. I like the idea, just not my thing. Cross between chess and a Ultron set. Gotta go do stuff, so lurky. Okay, good luck, lurkies. Ugh, my nose. Okay, oh, I should make it so y'all can see. Okay, we're doing this part, and then there's a part there. A little bit difficult to see. We're getting stuff done. Reminder to like this video while you are watching it live. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tiffany of Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. I am a full-time costume and prop fabricator, as well as educator here on YouTube. Love to have you as part of our community, so subscribe to the channel. And we are currently working on the image over here, which is the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter Rise. This is 8 feet long blade that I have sectioned off into 3 sections. This is the middle section, and we're doing the final step of adding foam clay to the cracks and seams to finish it up before doing plasti dip and painting. If you have any questions on cosplay stuff or what I'm working on, feel free to ask. Okay, there's my spiel. Wajah. It only took me like, what was it? I'd say it took me about a month of streaming on YouTube to finally stop saying Twitch stuff and saying YouTube stuff now. So I think that's pretty good. The autopilot of talk. I mixed that one. I'll have to do that soft mix. Try not to get my hair into it as well. This spot, which I don't think y'all will be able to see. I'm excited for besides the bunny head, I'm excited for the next cosplay build of Jinx with all of the weapons. Like, I've already got like all of the base, sorry, I have like, I have a cat here on me. Ah. Ah. But I'm excited for the next, like, costume prop build with all the weapons from Jinx, because that one, like, I've already got all of the base materials. I just went to, like, Home Depot and got all of my piping for, like, the bone structure of everything. And it's just, like, sitting in the corner. And I see the Jinx wig in the other corner that I still have to style. But, it's just like, oh. Seeing what's coming in the future, but you can't touch it yet because I need to finish projects. Okay. Let's do this side. Okay. Next, we're gonna do this section. I got a wee bit of a hole. And again with foam clay, you want to apply the water first, and then making your foam clay into little coils and put it into the spot that you want. And then with your fingers spreading it out, and then adding more water back and forth, so that way it can smooth out. How often do you stream on YouTube? Every Monday and Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. For me right now, it is 3:40. We were a little bit late today starting though, just because I was busy, and I'm always typically late the day after, like, daylight savings, so. But yeah, if you've missed any of our past VODs, I do save all of them. They are by each playlist, so there's a full playlist on YouTube streams, and I recently switched from streaming from Twitch to YouTube, so there is like, I think 150 other streams of past cosplay building streams from Twitch. For other builds, they're all typically the same, of me here working on whatever I'm working on. So yeah. Always welcome to come back and watch. Okay. Yep. Okay, got that one. I need to fix this section. Yeah, we just work on whatever I'm working on at the time. Last stream we were working on the pattern for a large bunny head from the anime Rust Eater Bisco. That's our next build. We'll be doing that on Wednesday. And then we'll work in foam. We do sewing, leather work, sometimes painting, but most of my painting's in the garage, so it's normally just like detail painting that I do on stream. Okay, and there's 2 other spots on this. let's see. Same amount of streams. Yeah. I've been streaming for years. I streamed on Twitch for over 4 years, and then Twitch is more of a gaming platform, not really a crafting platform. And I was growing on there, but it was just kind of like, I always was telling people to come to YouTube, just because this is where all my tutorials are. So it kind of made sense for me to switch over to here. So we've been doing it now on YouTube for 2 months now, I think? And I used to stream 3 days a week, but now I only stream 2, just so I have more time for doing video edits and stuff. But I enjoy it. And I'd be doing this whether I'm streaming or not, so I might as well stream it. I'm a little bit slower when I stream, but then I can show people what I'm doing and, yeah, answer questions, help people as well. I enjoy it. Oop. Okay, that one's done. So let me see if there's any spots that I missed. Yeah, one spot on this side. Okay, let's see if I can show it. Not sure. I'm doing under here, so I guess I can't really. That's because you're here to distract you. I mean, it's a little bit, yeah, you know. It's reading, and talking and thinking while you're crafting something is actually a really difficult thing to do, like teaching people. And it's something, in college I used to teach classes. I was a TA for a lot of classes. And so I'm kind of used to it, and I miss those days, but it's kind of a difficult thing. But once you kind of learn after streaming after a while, you're just kind of narrating everything that you're doing, and then you're also just like spilling out years of knowledge. Here you go. So yeah. Does Fluff and Ches enjoy it? Ches doesn't care. I'd say Fluff doesn't like that I stream. Fluff is my cat, Ches is my rabbit, for those that don't know. She would rather, like, she doesn't like it when I talk all the time when I'm streaming. But she'd rather me playing games and her sitting on my lap, or working on things and her just sitting on my lap, because that's her thing. So I assume y'all like it, because y'all keep coming back, so I appreciate it. Happy to have y'all, whether you lurk or you talk. I prefer if you talk occasionally, because then I can talk back and answer questions, but I'm happy for the lurkers as well. Being a lurker on everything myself. Okay. Oh. So the very last section that I saved for the end is we gotta do our seam at the top here. And this one's gonna be a wee bit more tricky. So, at least for showing it on camera. Maybe? Maybe? Okay, so I was talking about this earlier. So on the top blade, this one's not as bad. There's only like a little bit, like you can see here, there's a seam here. In other projects, I wouldn't do the entire spine, like seam of it, but this part I had to, there was a lot more. So for consistency, because this one's our top section, I want it to be the same on this one too. So we're gonna just do the entire thing. And same with the very bottom section. So it just looks the same. It'll take a little bit longer, but it'll look, when we paint it, a lot better. I also explained earlier, with foam clay, it does dry at a different consistency than the actual EVA foam, which is what this gray material and black material and everything is. So it's a tiny bit more shiny than the matte surface of the foam. So ensuring, like if I was just to put it here, there'd be a little bit more shine. But if I do it around the seam, it's gonna look intentional as part of the design rather than I was trying to fill a hole. So sometimes it's nice to lurk and just enjoy the stream. Yes, that is also just good. Happy to have you here, and thank you for watching and lurking. Okay, so we'll start. I actually need to be filming this because I haven't filmed any of the foam clay part yet. Oop, oop. I gotta raise it. But yeah, this camera that I'm using, if you haven't been to any of my streams in the past, I film every single part of the crafting process for my costumes and props. And you'll end up seeing the footage that I filmed from here as an actual video. Thank you for the sub. A video tutorial on how I made this. So instead of watching, we're on stream, what? This is like 9 or something. Instead of watching like 50 hours of how I made this, I'll condense it down into like an 8 or 10 minute video. It just comes out a wee bit farther behind. So yeah. But that's what this camera is for. Okay. So applying the water. And my clay's a little dry. Pull it out. I feel like I'm gonna be stabbed with this. Okay. And this is the last part of this blade, or this section. And then we'll be doing the bottom section next, which has a lot more issues. Just a bit. Just a bit. Some more water. Smooth it out. Some more. I'm gonna kind of do this in like the sections almost. Okay. Smooth it. Probably blocking my other camera with my head. Basically, I'm just thinning it out. So the heaviest part is on the seam, and then the foam clay will kind of go on either side, and then just using my finger to smooth it out on the edges, because it'll still leave a slight raised area there. So this helps to kind of like even it out with the surface. A little too much water there. Okay, and then with our clay tool, I'm gonna go back and add the texture back in. so it doesn't look like I had streamed it out there. Trying to follow what the textures are already there. We got it. Okay. Love from France, nice Rick. Well, thank you, and welcome on. Bonjour. That's all you get from me. Okay, we can put this over here. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. And cheers, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like this video while it is live. Okay, so continuing. Maybe use the camera? I think that might work. Then we're doing this section. There we go. Another, trying not to stab myself with it. I think I'll do this one in half and half. Maybe? Okay, so. Like, have to remember, we started later, so a little less work being done, but still good. Hopefully everybody's having a good Monday. Smooth it out. And the different colors of the materials doesn't matter, since it's all going to be painted anyway. The Plasti Dip will even it all out to one coat as the priming color, and then I can just do all my colors on top of it for painting. It's the bird song. So curious on what today's holiday is, with all the kids out at the skate park. Thanks. So far so good. Yeah. Yeah, we're currently working on the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter Rise. Doing our final little steps of cleanup. Fill in cracks and seams. It's nice doing this when it's not stupid cold outside. Working on cosplays when it's like 40 outside and you have to have the windows open because of like gluing, and then you go to do this and you're working with water, is just like miserable. But now it's like, what is it? 74. Yeah. My weather. If I move the camera too much, let me know. Because I'm not looking at it, so. Yeah. Almost Tuesday here. It's 11 p.m. in South Africa. Ah, okay. Well, happy almost Tuesday. I'm curious, how'd you find me for streaming? Was it through social media, or you just happened to find me on YouTube? Gone by more quickly than you expected, only 1 hour left. Yeah, I'd agree. Today's gone by pretty fast. I think it's because of the daylight savings. Okay. Go back and add our texture back in. It's not too much in this section. Okay. Then the next section. Pie day, so that help. Yeah, I don't like pie though. Ow. I saw somebody put that on our Discord channel. Skip day opposite? Maybe it might be like senior skip day or something. But I see kids over there, and my calendar doesn't say that it's a holiday, so I don't know. There's not normally like tons of kids at the skate park at this time. And I haven't seen school buses today. And it's like 4. We would have had like the elementary school let out, so I don't know. I don't have kids, obviously. Or know anybody with kids, so I don't know these things. YouTube Shorts? Ah! Nice. Well, welcome from it. Spring break? Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe. How many years do you cosplay? This is my full-time job. I'm a full-time costume and prop fabricator as well as educator here on YouTube. My first costume that I built was in 2008. I did it for like 4 or 5 years. I took a break when I went to college for another like 4 or 5 years, and then I got back into it in is it 2018, I think, or 2017, something like that. I don't know. And I've been doing this now full-time for, I want to say like 3 years, but my years are all off, so I don't know. Yeah, if you're interested on what I have made, I have everything that I've made on my website, www.tiffanygordoncosplay.com or !website, and I'll show you at least all my stuff since college, everything that I've made. And I have tons of tutorials here on YouTube and patterns and blueprints on my website, 3D CAD files on my website, things like that. Help people with making builds. I think we might have to start standing. Maybe there's spring break. Yeah. I mean, I live across the street from a skate park. Never live across the street from a skate park. But it is cheap rent. It's just, you have a lot of little, you want to kick them, kids that are constantly in the way, that just stand in the street on their skateboards and won't move for a car, and who will purposely, like, you're driving, they'll purposely go in front of you and laugh. And, ugh. Yeah, it is bad. And I live in a very small town, so they think that it's cool to say the N-word, and it's cool to do, like, things like that. Redneckville here. Yeah. It was you, okay. I look at my Discord, I just don't actually pay attention to who posts things half the time. But I do read everything. Oh, thanks Cliff for posting the link. Working on your Bloodborne cosplay. Ooh, very cool. If you'd like to share any of your work in progress pictures or things that you made, we have cosplay sections on our Discord as well. Math pun kind of, yeah. No, I know that there is a Pi Day. I just never, I don't really pay attention to, like, what day it is. It's Monday for me. What's the date? It's the 14th. That's the only way I know. But otherwise, I don't really pay attention to that. Today was not circled on my calendar for things that I needed to remember besides streaming. This one definitely didn't go too flat, but I think we'll be okay. Please! Give me 1 second, little fluff. We got the little friend that came. What are you doing? Yeah, give me a sec. Sorry, Fluff. So the foam clay, when you add it, it's filling all of the holes, so you want to make sure to go back in and add the texture that you filled. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Come here. No, my little fluffles. Good girl. You want to say hi to everybody? Can you say hi? Good girl. Are you a good kitty? You a good kitty? Want to see what I'm doing? Not too exciting, huh? Yeah? Good little girl. Here. Here you go. Good girl. Good girl, Bubblies. I carry her everywhere. What are you doing? Meow? Yeah? Meow meow? Are you gonna scratch everything? Or use it to scratch? Here. Here's a window. Wanna see the window? Yeah? Is it cool? Good girl. This is also why the stream takes longer. We got to kitty. No. Okay. We'll see if she comes back up or not. She's over there. The little fluff in the corner. Oh, fix my camera. There we go. She may stay. She may not. Not sure. Okay. Floof! Hi Yosho, welcome on. How are you doing? What do you think on the bartender games in Genshin? Yeah, her name is Fluff. You going away now? Who's your favorite Monster Hunter monster? I have a love from Monster Hunter World for Xenogevia because that one was the original in-game character, and I made a cosplay for that specific armor set, the Xenogevia beta armor set, and I farmed every single piece in-game to make that cosplay because I did not want to cosplay it until I farmed it. And had the full set. So that one is my favorite, just because of what I had to do. There we go. I can hear it, yeah. I know. Kitty interruption. The floof has arrived. Must end the stream then, right? Can mixing drinks get any more boring? Don't hate it, but you don't like it. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they're trying to make a lot more mini mobile games in the game that are a lot easier. Yeah. So cool, thanks. Yeah, typically if there is a specific armor set of a character I'm making, I have farmed that to get it. So like my Baroth one that I made for Monster Hunter, I farmed everything for it. But it's also like one of the easier ones. The saber-toothed kitty one. What do you think about mixing? It's too easy and it's very slow. I thought it would be like, okay, we're mixing like this and this and this, and like every time somebody comes, you gotta, okay, what's the recipe? Look it up. It does pause, I discovered, but it's just, okay, you pour the stuff, you have to read it to know if they want like an extra little hint to something. You have to unlock certain recipes by playing around with different drinks mix, which is whatever. And then you do the direction and then you fill it up. Like, okay, this is boring. So I liked the coin thing better. But they're just small little events that I think they're trying to see if people like, and then they just don't go anywhere. So yeah. Oh, I am AR 54 now. So one more away, I think, from being able to go into your world again. Or for the first time. How do you know Yosho entered the stream? Tiffany starts talking about Genshin. Let me pause this conversation. It's Genshin time. Pretty much. So. Lots of, or look, enough, just come out with more content than, delaying it. Yeah. I'm like, at this point, I'm just doing my dailies, and I am, just farming to upgrade weapons and things. And I looked to see when the next area is coming out, like actual map stuff. And it's like in half a year, and I was just like, I don't know if I can still keep, like, I'll come back to it, but then I was just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I've got 3 characters now at 90. I've got 2 characters that are at 80 something. That's all my mains, and then now I'm working on my secondaries so I can do them in the, what is it, the chamber thingy or whatever with different floors. I forget what it's called. I put a wee bit too much on this section. I got too excited talking. Blah. Graph armor was your absolute favorite thing. It's honestly, I think it's one of my favorite cosplays that I've made. The paint job on the entire thing, I had such a fun time doing it, and it was such a different style than I normally paint. Very organic and realistic, and I haven't done that since like college and in high school and stuff, where I used to paint very realistically. Everything now is very graphic for cosplay builds, but Monster Hunter is like where I can do stuff that's gross and more realistic, and I like that. So it switched it up, but it's just a fun costume to wear too. I do say Monster Hunter cosplays, though, you get the diehard fans that like them, but they're not a big hit, at least with my followers. Like, I really love them. I think all the pictures I did with them are gorgeous, especially the ones that I did that I'm like a lion coming out of the dead grass. But I don't think a lot of other people, like, they think it's cool, but it's not like their favorite, where my community likes Overwatch. So they're waiting for Overwatch 2 for me to come out with more mercies. That's my community. Yep. There was a weird sound. Please share at least a new area in 20 days. Wait, there's a new area in 20 days? What do you mean, Yosha? I obviously don't pay attention to any, like, Genshin news, except for when I look something up. Like a new map thing, or? Okay, so you got the banner and promos done with it. What are you doing now? What's that you're putting on the edges? I love your work. Welcome on. Sorry for the late response. Slowly going through chat. We are currently working on the weapon that's over here, the image. It is the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter Rise. It is a 8-foot long weapon, and we're working on the middle section. I broke it up into 3 sections so that way you can disassemble it for transportation. The material that I'm applying to the edges right now is called foam clay, and I use foam clay as the very last step for my cosplay builds for filling cracks and seams. If you've seen it before, most people use it for adding like sculpture detail parts. I actually don't like doing that, just because it's a very weak material in general for doing sculpting. It breaks easily when it dries out, but for cracks and seams, it is a much better option than with quick seal, which is another way of filling cracks and seams on your EVA foam. So right now, basically foam clay, you have to wet the surface so that way it will stick, and then you apply the foam clay. It needs to be slightly wet as well, and then apply it in little coils over the seam that you want to put it on. when it is on, you will smooth it out with your finger, applying water as needed. You want it to be still not too wet where it's soupy. If it's too wet, it'll come off. So it's a nice happy medium of keeping it like somewhat dry, somewhat wet. And then you only really want it on the seam part, and the rest of it you want to fade it into, rubbing your hands back and forth, fade it into the foam, because you're adding a material, so it's gonna be a little bit thicker there, and it will show in your paint. So you do wanna kind of smooth it out so you don't see it as well. So that's what we're doing right now, and once you smooth it out enough, when you're happy with it, it will start to dry out, and you'll start to see more of a kind of black material come out of it. It's like a charcoal kind of color in general, but after it starts to dry, there's a little like solid black color that'll come out, and that's when you know you're at like the perfect consistency for it being finished. Once it's on like this, then I'll go back, because we had texture there, and for foam clay, it fills any cracks and seams, so any texture that you had will be filled. So we're going back now with my clay tool, and I'm just kind of adding back a kind of like texture in that area, so it doesn't look like it was added. Hope that answers your question. I have a tutorial on it coming out. It's available for members on YouTube right now, and then it'll be released to the public in 2 weeks. I also have a tutorial for filling cracks and seams for Quick Seal that just came out last week. And those are both on my YouTube channel, which is here. Yeah. Okay, on the other side. Yeah, I'm like really behind in chat. Yep. Oh. And this side. This material does take a little bit more looking at what I've been doing. Okay, and then the last section, the very bottom. Let's switch it this way. But yeah, this is the middle section of the blade. Stay. We'll see if that works. I'm just gonna water this. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I've noticed that name since the beginning in Genshin, but that's cool. Is it a larger or is it just a small one? I imagine every section has a new character. Yeah, if you want to post any, so we have a open Discord that anybody can join. Cliff put a link or exclamation point Discord, and we have a cosplay section if you want to share any of your work in progress pictures or your finished cosplays. We also have a tip section if you have any little tips and tricks. You can put stuff there. As well as gaming sections, meme sections. We have a watch party section if you want to watch stuff together, things like that. So yeah. Heading to bed, happy streaming, and see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, Bella, and see you on our next stream. Okay, I'm gonna real quick go and use the restroom. I'll be back momentarily, and then we'll finish the this section. We have just this part left, and then this one's done, and we have the last section. So I'll be back momentarily. Thank you for watching. Remember to like this video while it is live. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and if you're new to the channel, also subscribe to the channel. So back in a bit. I'm back. I had to walk the kitty downstairs. Okay. How do you make an income? Mostly competition rewards, or is there some other kind? I don't really compete, so I don't make money off of competitions. Last year, the only thing I competed in was the Crunchyroll Hime's Cosplay Cup, just because I wanted to try something different, and I got 250. That doesn't really pay bills. I make my money off of basically ad revenue here on YouTube. I make money off of support from people from Patreon. For members here on YouTube is a really big support. I also make patterns and blueprints, as well as 3D CAD files to help people make their own costumes. So things like that. I design fabric, so I have a fabric store. I sell prints, I sell digital photo sets, I have calendars, trying to think what else. Like going to conventions, if I'm a guest, I make money off of like selling things there, things like that. Occasionally I'll do commissions for people, for like business companies, for promotional use, sponsors. I'll do like review videos, or I'll do like things like that. If you use any of my links on YouTube for like Amazon stuff, I get like a very small minimum portion from that, so at no cost to you. So like if you buy EVA foam from any of my links, I get like I get like 20 cents or something, and it all adds up. But mostly my income comes from my patterns and stuff. And from generous people. I don't make a lot of money. I'm very open on that. I break even enough to pay my bills and make cosplays and eat food. So occasionally I have enough where I can save up to invest in cosplay stuff, but I'm not like bringing in money. But that's kind of why, like beforehand when I was first starting off, I did Patreon where I made a new cosplay. Thank you for the sub. I made a new cosplay every single month for basically 2 years, from scratch, and I did tutorials and patterns for that all through Patreon. And that's kind of how I was able to keep doing this, especially during like obviously COVID, and that was my main source of income. But now I've been able to kind of go away from that, because that was way too stressful. I was literally working, by the end of November and December last year, I was doing 100 hours a week. Like, not joking. I was mad crazy. And now I've cut back, and I'm a lot happier and a lot more sane and can play games again. But it is a bit of a struggle, but it's what I love to do. I quit basically 3-4 years ago or whatever, a full-time job where I was making really good money. I had a 401k, great benefits, to not. So yeah. But I love making things. I'm a maker. I love teaching people things, making tutorials. This is what I want to do. So this is my full-time business. So cool to see the detail process. I'm gonna ask the same. Going to be huge, but that leads to a new area with the intro. Oh, okay. Well, I will then keep leveling my critters. Is it gonna be like the frost area, Yosho? real, I know Wizard did in our YouTube a review video on the Batman movie. I don't remember where he put it. I think it might have been in the movies and shows recommendation place or something. But I haven't seen it. What's a 401k? Basically retirement. So it's not your savings, it's a special type of like retirement thing where it's hard to explain. Somebody may have a better response than me. But yeah, for the first, like, for me opening my own business, I had a bunch of savings because I decided not to go to graduate school, and I had full-time employment at my previous job, and I put everything into savings, and my Ario costume got really big in 2018, and I guess it's been 4 years, but in 2018 my Ario costume from Diablo 3 got really, really big, and I was not too happy with my job. I didn't really like what I was doing, and it's like, I don't want to be stuck here. And it's like, well, people are really liking this. They're liking me doing stuff. So I basically lived on my savings for a year. Luckily, I never really, like, I pretty much broke even the whole entire time. And I've been able to do it ever since. So, yeah. Review, good. See it. Batman. Okay. It will be a larger than the Ice Mountain area, but as far as I know, no freeing effect. Oh, freezing effect. Sorry. Okay, good. I hated that. That was like the worst thing about that section. No, this section is gonna be a fire section where you have to drink like a cooling potion instead. That's what it's gonna be. I'm glad y'all can keep up with my conversations and going back and forth. Maybe. So I'm just going back and adding the little details back in. This spot was a lot better than that spot. That spot was, no. Oh, I missed that though. Agreement between you and your employer, yeah. Well, that and like with your 401k too, it's something where you're, at least with mine, you're not taxed on it until you take it out, and if you, like when you're a certain age or something, and then when you, if you take it out before a certain time, you get taxed twice as much on it or something. I don't really know. Basically, don't quit your day job to do cosplay. Make money first. And then when you have enough money to make, like, to live off of on the side, then you can quit your job and do cosplay. Or have savings, or have a spouse that supports you, or something like that. I don't know. But mine was, I had savings. I can actually work back and forth. The middle section, I couldn't really look at both sides at once. Yeah, Wizards got the answer. 401k, a portion of your corporate paycheck is deposited into an investment account with the goal of having significant savings available at retirement. Some companies match what you put. Yeah, my company, or the company I worked with, they matched what I put in. And so I did that, and then it also is like, it's kind of like investment too, of like, if it's a good year, then you go higher, but if it's a bad year, it goes lower. So a lot of people will, if you're working at a job and you're gonna retire, if it's lower than what it's supposed to be, they'll have to wait till it's a good year when it goes back up, kind of thing. And you get a bunch of grumpy old people at jobs if that's the case. But there's always different ways if you want to become a full-time costume or cosplay maker and things. Different routes for different people. Obviously there's the OnlyFans route. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. There's the routes of where you make commissions for anyone and everyone, and most likely you're gonna lowball, or everybody will lowball you, and you'll do that for a long time. And just things like that. You can make wigs, anything you want. I mean, you don't even have to make cosplays if you don't want to. You can buy them, and that's totally fine too. I prefer to make all of my costumes, and I prefer to help people learn how to, and I do tutorials, and I have tons of patterns and blueprints. But I plan on this being, because it's my own company, I have an LLC, so it's an actual company. And I plan on this being my full-time job forever. Like, this is my job. This is my company I own, where some routes may only be a temporary route. So that's another option of, is this something you're gonna wanna do when you're like 50? It's fine. If you want to, go ahead. I'm gonna be doing it. If you don't see yourself doing it at 50, then you might want to have like a backup plan. Unless you have lots of money and you don't need a job at that point. So, all good. Yeah. Half and half, so you pay taxes on a portion now. Just being a starting artist actually starts. That's when your craft's really gonna take off and gain value. Yeah. Yep, everybody's gotta start somewhere. So. But definitely make sure you can pay your bills. Make sure you can eat. You may want to, like, if you have trouble with money before, like, if you, like, figure out how to do money first, in terms of, like, put stuff in the savings, how to have enough money budgeted for this and enough money budgeted for that, and for paying taxes, because you will have to pay taxes on things, at least here. I don't know what country you're from, but once you can manage that and figure it out and have a plan, then I would recommend, like, if you've got all that figured out, go for it. But I don't typically recommend doing this as a full-time job for people unless it's something you are extremely passionate about and you don't mind working. Like my last job, I worked every day, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Owning your own company, you work every day, Monday through Sunday. I woke up at 8:30, I started work at basically 9, doing posting, and because posting is also part of my job for making sure I'm doing my advertisements and things. And then I'll work until probably like 8 p.m. tonight. Less hours than I used to, but still, I really enjoy it, so. All right, this section is now done. So we've got the 2 sections done, the top one, and then the middle section, so now 4 is the last one. And I'm not trying to scare anybody either, just honest truth. And there's a good portion of luck too when it comes to it. I'll say that too, where knowing certain people and knowing like certain people coming across your account for social media will also help. So yeah. Okay, here's our last one. This one's the very bottom one of the image down here. It is the handle part here. So scale wise. There you go. Just post pictures of delicious desserts. Yes. I'm in Texas. Okay. Oh, last section. This one's gonna have a lot. Actually, did I do? I take that back. I just remembered. I missed. Sorry. I'm putting this one up for 2 seconds. I missed a few spots here that I did on the other side, and I forgot I didn't do it on this side. So let me do that really quickly. Sorry. I know y'all all excited, like, ooh, new section. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. There we go. So just the red section there, I gotta do real quick. I'll just listen down again. Okay. Yeah, this is the Almudron blade from Monster Hunter Rise. So, this won't take too long. Yeah, it's an 8-foot long blade, and I don't think people, like, I've posted some of the progress pictures on my Instagram stories, and I've tried to put a little, like, either a Sharpie or a tape thing in all of the images, but I don't think people have quite realized the scale of this weapon. It does fit. I have 9-foot ceilings, but it's a little hard to have in the room when it's fully assembled. I'll take a little bit on this, so. Okay, then smooth it, because I can't reach in there. And I hope y'all are enjoying the stream.
Yee.
Thank you for the sub, I appreciate it. Okay, that one's done. Next section. And this is our last day working on it on stream. I don't know if we'll do any painting on this on stream. Of course, I'll be airbrush painting, and I can't airbrush paint on stream just because I do it in my garage. And we're on the 2nd floor. But... a weird sound. I don't know what that is. But we may do some detail painting later on, but it probably won't be for another 2 weeks. So, next plan though, we'll be continuing work on the bunny head from Rusty or Bisco. Another creepy head, because we know I like my little creepy critters. How tall is your prop ordering friend? 6 foot something? Not my size, taller, so it looks a little unfortunate for me. But I did the scaling off of basically the character in game with the weapon. I did the scaling based off of that, based off of my friend's height. And I think I actually made it a foot shorter, because it was technically supposed to be like 9 feet, but we both were like, maybe we'll scale it down just a tiny bit so it's a little more functional. So yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the in-game one, but it's still a lot. Yeah. Okay, last part. You are the first person to ask that too. Yeah, my main weapon from Monster Hunter games is always the dual blades. So it's kind of nice to have, they want to do a whole Monster Hunter collection, and it's kind of nice to do a different type of weapon, because I do dual blades everything, because that's all my games. I like my dual blades or my daggers. I like to poke really fast as an assassin. So, yeah. Okay, that one's done. Now we can get the last section out. Okay, back to this one again. Huzzah! Nighttime for you now. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for stopping by and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm gonna go see what that sound is. It's the blinds. It like sounds like a beetle, and it's really annoying. But my blinds in that bathroom, they're broken. It's like a stupid like blinds that it doesn't have a cord to pull it up and down. It just has an automatic you push up and down, and it broke the first day. And like, cause you have to pull it down, and it just meh. So now it only works on one side, and the other side is just like broken on the ground, and the wind is blowing it. So yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see you on our next one. There we go. So this part, when I had cut it, I cut a little too much, so obviously that's gonna be fixed. Hiding part, except in right, yeah, I always do my dual blades. I don't do any of the other weapons. I really enjoyed World for that part, because I would play with certain people, and like obviously for the flying critters, they were a little harder for me to hit. But playing with other people really helped with that. Okay, yeah, a little more there. Yeah, this one was the most difficult of the 3 sections. Not too proud with everything on it. It's it definitely has some not as nice craftsmanship spots. The paint job will definitely make up for it, but this one was just a hard puzzle piece to make and didn't quite work in some sections, so I had to do a lot of fixing. What'd be cool is to one day make every single, like, not every weapon, but every class from Monster Hunter. So what's everybody gonna do for dinner tonight? Any plans? I don't know what I'm doing yet. So I'm open to suggestions. Okay, I'm doing it in here right now, but it's kind of a hard spot to show. I do plan on finishing this tonight. Even after the stream, I'll keep working on it. I'll take my little walk to the mail box, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing for dinner. And then I will, after dinner, continue working on this. What's the process of planning a complicated weapon as this one? First, I will get lots and lots and lots of reference images. Typically, I will get it from, if it's from a game, I'll first start in the game and I will just take pictures with my phone or screenshots if it's on my PC of every single angle of the different, like if there's emotes, like in Overwatch, there's certain like poses and things, and I'll just get every single side I can. I'll try to zoom in as much as I can to get all the details. I'll also look online and see if there's any, for this one there was actual, like the image here is not from in-game, it was from a website that had like all of the weapons listed and it had just a picture. And so this one was like the main one because it was the best, like most clear version I could see. And then from that, I will do my blueprint based on it. Typically for weapons, I do blueprints and not patterns. And that's more of like drafting lines. And basically from this, I just like trace every single thing. I add all of my details in it. I then will scale it. If it's for a specific person, I will scale it off of that person. So I did that for this one. And then I'll make it into a PDF file to make the blueprint. From that, I then will print out the whole blueprint. A lot of times I'll also like just stare for like 30 minutes to an hour at either the cosplay or the prop. And I'll just diagnose it in my head of like, what does this material look like? This section. Does it look like wood? Does it look like leather or foam? I also think about how long is this? Okay, I'm gonna need a bone structure. So I kind of diagnose it in my head and I just naturally kind of go through all of the steps of like, okay, this won't work here. And I kind of just do that first. Hard to explain, but that's kind of the first process. And then after that, for this one specifically, I printed it out and I colored it. Might sound weird, but for me, I basically was figuring out in my head, like, actually first I split it up. Where would be on the blueprint the best spots to separate it to make it disassemble? Because it's 8 feet long, and I'm not making an 8 foot long prop that can't disassemble, that can't fit in a car. Especially when it's a commission for somebody else. I'm not having them like driving this there. No. So I figured out where I was going to separate it into the 3 sections, and then from there I could look at it and figure out, so this is CPVC pipe. It's kind of like PVC but different. And then I could figure out where my inner bone structure would be. So in like this piece. So there's a male and a female connection point. So each of them can do a friction fuse together and hold in place. Also, you had to have an inner bone structure. So there's actually the pipe, the female one there, goes all the way around, all the way into here. So I had to bend it. Same with this one. So this one actually is here, and then it connects to a different side that goes all the way down here. So I had to figure out what is the inner bone structure. That's kind of your base thing when working with big weapons. You want to figure out what is the bone structure and how can you assemble, disassemble it first. That's your priority. And then from there, I kind of just drew my lines of what is the thickness I need here, and I figured out how to do the male and female with this one, because it's a lot larger than most of the other weapons I make. It took a little bit more planning. But once I got that figured out, I could bend everything, and then I colored my blueprint. And for that, it was basically coloring it for what materials are where and what thickness of foam I wanted where. So if you see all of this gray foam here, here, and here is all the same thickness. So this would all be, I made like orange. So I knew it was gonna be the 10, 12 millimeter foam. Where the foam here is technically 2 millimeter, and I'll get into that in a bit, but then I colored that one section. This one is like 2 pieces of 12 mil, so that was a different section. This is 4 mil, this is 4 mil. So at that point, I could kind of diagnose each piece and know what size foam I wanted to make it. And for my props, I don't work in one thickness of foam, because in reality, not everything is one thickness. For any type of material, you have different thicknesses, so I work in different thicknesses of foam as well. And then from there, I will then, because it's a blueprint and not a pattern, and it's a 2D pattern from, 2D blueprint from the top view, obviously it's not flat, it's in the round. So for a 2D view of this section, I had to figure out what is this piece going to be too. So basically with tracing paper over the whole thing, I mapped it out of here's this section, I'm going to have like this. Here's this section, but I want to extend each one about that far. And then from here, then that would be on there. So I know when it bends, I can make that house rather than straight up and down. The other part with this blade, sorry, this is very long because it's very complicated. Hope I'm not losing y'all. We're still feeling cracks and seams right now. But the whole thing also has a base build of insulation foam. So basically this part under here is pink insulation foam. Everything has a base of that, and then it's glued on top, so it gives you that thickness and it's lightweight, and I can put all of my piping around it. And then once you have all that, you can start to cut out, sand, and go from there. It's more complicated, but that's kind of like the easiest way I can explain it. Hopefully that helped. Maybe? Nachos, pie, and D&D, okay. Yeah, I can't do eggs, I can't do cheese. So, welcome on, Kay. Hope you're doing well. That was a really long answer too. Wah, wah. I used up all of my talking points there. It's real interesting. Okay, well, glad you found it interesting. Yeah, if you have any questions like that, feel free to ask. I will only answer questions like that on stream, because I'm not writing that out. But in the end, once I finish this prop, I'll have a tutorial on it too that will go over most of it. But obviously this is a very complicated prop, so I can't do like every single thing, but I'll have a lot of it. I'd say for a similar weapon choice, look at how I made the Ashbringer sword from World of Warcraft. That one's a good example of insulation foam with EVA foam on top. This one has no 3D printing, where the Ashbringer I did a little bit for the handle and for the floating hand. Another one to look at would be the Sinnoh Alice Snow White sword. That one was another similar concept, except it didn't come apart. Yeah. Yep. I can do. I want my camera to bend more. That work a little better? I just like the camera. I'll be so happy when this is done. Putting together, I've been really happy too, because it takes up so much less room now that it's assembled and not just parts everywhere. It's one of those sections that was a little tricky and didn't quite look too well. It looks clean from the top, not from the sides. Just gotta go class. If you're still here after now, I'll be back. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by. We'll be ending actually in like a few minutes, but next stream's gonna be on Wednesday. We'll be working on a different thing. Are there any more winged characters in your imminent future? I don't know. I mean, I love winged characters, but I'm not really planning too many big cosplays right now, just because I may be moving, and so I'm trying to finish up projects and all. So yeah, and I gotta deal. I still have to deal with my tonsils, so I've been like, smaller builds, finish up things, deal with that first. But next build is gonna be Arcane Jinx from League of Legends for an actual cosplay. That's the only one I have confirmed right now. I still want to make from the Dungeons show the blonde-haired girl. I like her a lot. So, one day. Cool streams, healer. Yeah! Ah! What's that? Car noises. What is that? I still gotta add more there. Meh. But, I don't know, big builds, I would like to do, if Yoshi's still around, he might be able to correct me, but there's a character in Genshin that is a boss that you fight that's like partly moth, like butterfly moth and fire, and I love her, and I want to make it, and she's a giant character, and she kinda has wings, but not really. They're more on the wing aspect of from the Kata collection, the what's her name from League of Legends that has the two floaty things on her back? It's kind of like that in terms of wings, if I was to do something. But yeah, that's kind of all I have planned right now. Okay. Well, I think that is where we're gonna stop for today. I gotta finish the rest of this tonight, so seal up my foam for now. Lost Signoria? Yeah, I think that one's that. Giant ball gown that's on fire, and she's a boss, and she has like the butterfly mask with the giant horns, and yeah, I really love that one. So, but yeah, I will finish this thing tonight, and once it dries, I will do a video tomorrow. So yeah. Let me do my stuff real quick. Alrighty. Virtual hug, yeah. Thanks. I can let down my hair. Feels nice. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's stream. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tiffany of Tiffany Grand Cosplay. I am a full-time costume and prop fabricator as well as educator here on YouTube. Love to have you as part of our community, so subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Also, remember to like this video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Really appreciate it. Our next stream is going to be on Wednesday the 16th. Normal time, 1 to 5 p.m. Central Time. We will be continuing work on that pile of foam there, which is the bunny head from the anime Rust Eater Isco. All the pieces are cut out, so we'll be assembling it and doing small bits of sanding here and there. But we'll see if I can make it in one day. It'll just depend on, I don't know, we'll see. It's a giant puzzle piece, just a wee bit. So yeah. But thank you for all of the new subs we received today. I really appreciate it. And I will see y'all for the next one. Oh, did my end thing not work? Oh, I did. Oh, thanks, Wizard. Yeah, I typed it wrong. I had another thing there. So yeah. But that is it. Tomorrow we have a contact lenses review video coming out. And then, yeah. Hopefully another video on Thursday too. So we'll see. But have a wonderful rest of your night. Much love, guys. Bye-bye.